Hi everybody, how are we? Hope everyone's okay, having a good weekend, and I hope everyone had a good Friday, had some gigs. Thought I'd give everyone a rest yesterday, so everyone could enjoy the Good Friday piece. But good news, I have more rants for you. But first, I just is sending out some love, love, lots of love, virtual hugs. Hope everyone's surviving and thriving. So I realised I am quite an impatient person. That's something I have to work on. I am working on. But I can't help it. I just, I am. So obviously, I've been talking about, I have so many ideas because my brain's just like a firework, basically. Oh, it's actually loud. So it's like a firework of ideas on a daily basis, and I'm just I'm like trying to keep up with myself on all these different things. So yesterday I thought I'd knuckle down, and today, and get cracking. So I've started up my Teespring shop, right, and did 5 collections, about 200 products yesterday. And then at the moment, my body clock is just waking me up. It doesn't matter what time I go to sleep, I'm waking up at 4 or 4:30, and that's it. I have to get up. So I got up this morning. I worked on this thing for 9 hours straight. And I did, basically, I've done, I basically created a collection which is for frontliners, and all the profits from those products will go to the countries of purchase, and will go to support healthcare projects in those countries. And then I've got another. So today I did a collection. Designed a collection of products for like the military, police, domestic, women for domestic abuse, rhinos as well, and the same principle. So 100%, because I've already designed like 4 collections, which are just funnies. But all the profits from these ones will go to those things. So like the veteran designs, all the profits from anything sold from that collection will go to veteran-based charities in the countries of purchase. Same with the police. Anything to do with police charities, again in the country of purchase, 100% of profits. And for rhinos, I call it Rhino Rebellion. And same thing, 100% of the profits will go towards nature reserves, safari parks, to help pay for security. And domestic abuse, same thing, 100% of the profits will go towards supporting domestic abuse, sexual harassment based charities in the countries of purchase. So I spent 9 hours doing this today, right? And I collections. So I honestly, so I designed it all. I was putting it on each thing, you know, like towels, cups, like anything and everything. I was like, right, got well in the zone. I was in my creative zone. And then I got to the end to like publish listings. So it took forever, obviously, because there was so many. There was like 200 products and all these different designs. Anyway, did it, and it didn't work. It didn't upload. There's nothing there. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was so excited all day. I was like, yes, I am doing it. Yay. Finally. I've got to pull my finger out my ass because you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? I've got all these ideas. And you got to start with one. You've got to focus on one first. Get that one. And then it's easy. So I put my focus into this, and then the fucking thing didn't upload. Oh mate, I thought I was gonna lose it. I did lose it for a little bit. Not like obviously with anyone, there's no one here. Just with myself, I went on a rant. Obviously, then I pulled myself together. I had to listen to some meditation music. I had to have a nap actually, just to calm myself down. It's no one's fault. You can't help it. It's just something happens. So I'm going to spend all night doing it again because I want that shit up. I want it up by tomorrow. It's my mission. So yeah, I was excited about that, and I was thinking about this rhino, the rhino situation, and elephants actually. And I've looked it up. This is too loud. Vote. Hands up. Yeah. Hold on, we're listening to the OJ's Saturday Soul. Sorry, I thought I'd get my leopard print dress on. Do you know what I mean? It's Saturday. Nothing quite like getting dressed up to have a party for one in your own house. But why not? So I've looked into, like I always do, rhino poaching and elephant poaching. Now, rhino, I don't understand. So rhino horn is essentially like a really long, thick nail. It's like dead hair. Yeah. And even though rhinos are almost extinct, people put more life on them dead, put more value on them dead than alive. I just no comprende, you know? I don't. How is this still the case? So, when you look into this, there's several questions. One is, who buys it? The next one is, who provides the weapons that the poachers have? But this is elephants and rhinos. Where do they get their military grade automatic weapons from? Because there's only certain countries and certain companies that sell those certain weapons. For one. We already know where they are because I've already provided a list, but I will again just for shits and gigs. So there's that. Rhino horn is primarily purchased by Vietnam. Sorry, Vietnam. But we need to have words about this. And do you know what it's primarily used for? It's primarily used for a hangover cure. Now, I think we can all say at this point, we've got certain traditions and things that need to be revived and kept alive very much and embraced. And then there are certain ones that I think we all just need to go, you know what? Way back when our ancestors did not know what they were doing when they created these things and did these things. You know, they're just not right anymore. Because both with elephant, I'm going to talk about the elephant separately, but it's the same principle. They did not know what they were doing, and there was also a lot more of them. And it's not saying that it's right, because it isn't. But they didn't know way back when. And frankly, you can get a better hangover solution from, there's several options. One, don't get a hangover. Two, eat a banana when you get home and have a pint of water. And then when you wake up, have an Alka-Seltzer or some Diarrhea salts. That sort you out in a jiff. Yeah? You don't need to have no crushed rhino horn for some ancient hangover cure. When you know every time you're taking that shit, you are killing a rhino. Let's be real. Like, how do these people sleep at night? They don't give. But what you need to care. You need to think every time you're purchasing ground up rhino horn, you are directly responsible for the death of a rhino. And there's only 29,000 left in the world. People who live in Africa, who are the home of rhinos, do not do this to rhinos. We need to be more conscious of, like, people of Vietnam, please. There's so many beautiful things about Vietnamese culture. Can we just embrace all of those ones and not this one? Because this is killing an endangered species, and we've already annihilated most of the species. And if we don't stop it, this will just be another one to add to the list, and that's just not acceptable. So if you're in any, and I'm going to get onto big game hunters in a minute. Whoo. Yeah. So anyone involved in the purchase or selling of anything rhino horn related, just replace it. Replace it with something else. Replace it with a natural, herbal. There's a gazillion of them. Yeah. We don't need to be killing animals out here like that. We don't need to be killing endangered species anymore. Like, it's getting silly. I can't believe that the Ben. I just. No. SARS Vietnam, that has to go. And and they're not there. There's many people in between, I'm sure, such as the people that supply poachers with the weapons. These people, they just don't give a fuck who they're selling their guns to, do they? Clearly. Doesn't matter. Anyone. They're paying, they're getting it. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. It could be anybody. Greed. It's disgraceful. Elephants. So the biggest purchasers of ivory are the USA, China, Thailand, Vietnam, I was Vietnamese, I was going to say, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Again, way back when our ancestors, and there was more elephants around, and they decided to do that for whatever reason, and it became a status symbol. It was pretty, and the rich people had it. Same old. And it was a cool thing, and everyone wanted it. And please, if we're evolving, you just got to accept when you're wrong, innit? You got to accept that those things done centuries ago, they were all right back then. They're not acceptable anymore. And owning and buying and selling of ivory, you're a murderer. Let's just put it as it is. Same with Rhino Horn. You may not do the murdering yourself, but you are directly responsible. You're part of that supply chain. You're enabling it. You're encouraging it. You're making it like it's something that should be wanted. When really what it is it means that you are directly responsible for the death of an endangered species. And that is not anything that anyone should be proud of. They should be shamed. You shouldn't want it just has to flip. It has to. There are so many other things that you could make into jewelry and trinkets. It doesn't need to be ivory. Why does it need to be ivory? Ivory, you're directly responsible for the death of an endangered species. It's disgraceful. So if you're wearing it and showing it and proud of it, like, oh, look at my ivory. Mate, no, sorry. It might have been all right at one time, but that's not all right anymore. Shouldn't be proud of that. Proud of what? Oh, yeah, paying somebody to go and kill an innocent animal solely for that. So you could have something shiny on your wall, carved out, please. It's disgusting. Shouldn't be proud of those things. Every single time it's bought and sold, that is another elephant. So thousands of elephants are murdered every single day. And again, they live in Africa, yet Africans have nothing to do with it in terms of they don't buy it and sell it and wear it as trinkets. Like that. Other countries have gone there and raped their country yet again for their resources. It's disgusting. Yeah, so I'm going to do a collection for elephants as well, and so the money, 100% of the profits will go towards. Because I think the future for safari and nature parks is get armed bloody drones, get them flying about the place. Heat signature, you know it. Yeah, so you still got the men on the ground, but then you've got air patrol that just be going all the time. You got outthink these fuckers. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's got to go. Ivory trader's got to go. And big game, I tell you, big. Oh, these people. There's certain type that go on these. They're generally, it's the same sort of echelons of society, same group of people. It's like they haven't had quite enough of poisoning the human population, murdering them through their business dealings and supply chains and slavery. They just want to add more destruction, more death. So what they do is they hire people, and obviously, if you're in a situation, and this is why this situation right now is dangerous that we're in. When you get a lot of people that are in a struggling for money and reliant on the state, or just living in poverty, and someone offers you money to do something, it may not be something you want to do, but you're going to do it because you need the money. This is why everyone needs to either start their own, or there's 1,000,001 ways just to get out of the system, get away from being at the vulnerable and in a position where that would seem like an all right option, but it happens. It happens. Because if you're desperate, if you're in a desperate situation, or you feel like you're in a desperate situation, you feel like there's no way out, and someone gives you a way out, even if it's not a way you want to go, but you'll be taken advantage of when you're in a vulnerable situation. It happens time and time again. So people, so they get these people to do these big game hunts, and then you get these rich white people. I'm not even gonna. There's no words. That go and then they go and shoot rhinos and elephants and lions, and they think they're fucking cool. And then they stand over them like, hey, look at me. Like, no, mate, you're not cool. You're not cool at all. No. That's not a cool thing. Shouldn't be proud of that at all. And these are the kind of people that will have like that kind of shit all over their house as well, They'll have their heads and they're the ones that will be buying the ivory and the rhino horns and sticking that shit up in their hallways just because they can afford it, because they think it's a status, when really all it says is that they're a murderer. It's not a status symbol at all. It's something. It's so shameful. Straight up, it's a disgrace. And the worst thing is as well, I bet there are going to be people that try and say that they're religious. They're going to be all, you know it. They're going to be, oh yeah, preachers, evangelists, but at the same time, hate anyone of any other race, hate animals, kill them as well. Probably involved in some corruption of some sort. It's like, you're the least religious person. Better just tell you now, I didn't stay on this either. I'm a bad girl. I lost about 30 hours. And then I caved and had a cigarette. Oops. But, you know, it's a work in progress. So, yeah. And there's a whole other element to this, which I'm not going to go into right now, which is people who own exotic animals. Like tigers and stuff. And then don't look after them properly. It's like, as I say, I'm not going to go into that right now because I'll just get upset. But I will put in the links to the rhino info and the elephants. It's actually shocking. It's like, how can we? It's just all of these things. We're just sitting by, just watching them happen. Like, have we been asleep? I generally feel like I've just spent 39 years of my life. I've not been asleep. I've been drunk, because that's what it is. You know what I mean? Not because I didn't even drink every day. I was just depressed and busy and just constantly just in a state of stress and anxiety, dealing with the kids, and then all, you know, an abusive ex and all of this. Just literally had no real idea about what was going on in the world. I don't think. Not just in the own world, just with myself as well. Like, it's amazing what you find out when you sort of get focused, I guess. Yeah. There's a whole heap of shit going down, like, and it's gone on so long because everyone's been in the same sort of rat race, just not really paying attention to anything other than your own little ourselves. And that's how they've gotten away with it for so long. But, you know, everyone needs to speak out about it. Everyone needs to talk about these things, all of them. For them to stop, it needs to be widely known that it's fucking unacceptable to do this kind of shit, and to have it proudly hung up in your house. Like, you're so, like, oh, good grief. I mean, it's one thing to hunt for food. Don't get me wrong. Because, you know, that is different. If you're hunting for food for survival, that's your thing, and you live in like homesteaders and those people that do like survival, Naked and Afraid and all that. You know these people that live in just in the sticks and stuff. And hunting for food is one thing. It's, you know, because that's how you survive. That's taking it back old school. I bet you bless it and everything. It's like that's your. But killing an endangered species just for the sake of killing it, and then killing it for no other reason than to cut off its horn to make into jewelry for what? And a lot of these things, as I say, they were started way back when they didn't know no better. But we know better now. So they should just be stopped. Straight up, like, you know, once whatever is in circulation is gone, that's it. Just use something else to make jewelry. Use a different. There's so many other things. There's no excuse for it. There is none. What I really liked, just yet again goes to prove the fucking. I swear, I don't know about you, but as the days pass, I'm pretty convinced that the Wicked Witch of the West must have some kind of spell on our MPs and police, because not all police, but definitely the Met, because the levels that is going on right about now is crazy. So back to the Morning Star. So today, the government released a statement. Now, this is about the race report that they just did, which was just an absolute shit show. And the government basically today released a statement blaming it on the commissioners, who are the people that supposedly wrote said report. However, this here says that they went and asked these people that were listed as the stakeholders of this document, right? And they did not write it. They did not write it. The people that are listed as writing it, or the people that are listed as stakeholders, they did not know anything about it. They were not even aware of this contribution. So it is complete fabrication, which means that the government have just written something, said other people have written it. Now the backlash has happened. They're blaming it on the people that haven't even written it. I mean, this is like straight facts. Jokes. Next one. I love this paper, by the way. Best paper ever. So police yesterday thought it was appropriate to shut down a Good Friday service at a church. Right? They literally went in and stopped the service and made everyone go home. And they said that they were doing it under their police powers, right? Despite church services being allowed, despite the service being sticking to COVID rules. So they've got no reason to do it. We're under spiritual attack, I'm telling you. There's something more, so there's something more going on here. And then the audacity of that as well, on the basis of these two articles, right? How these people, and look, listen, please, I got you. I've designed an entire collection of clothes and other goods solely to raise money for police-related charities. So please, you can't say nothing. But this is a joke. Hundreds of police face no. They've got loads of people within the police that are alleged involved in alleged sex attacks, and they're going to get no penalties. How can we trust? How can we trust a system to help us get our attackers, male or female, if they will not even penalise the ones that they know are guilty within their own organisation? Please tell me. Not only that, they also recruit neo-Nazis. There's a young lad that's been found guilty of belonging to a neo-Nazi group, and they want to say that we're not institutionally racist and they're recruiting neo-Nazis. Okay? What other ones we got? There's so many. We've got the Bank of England. The Bank of England, which are responsible for investing in fossil fuel-based businesses. So there was a nice riot outside, not riot, protest outside. They keep protesting, people. Do you know what I mean? Loving it. Liberty. Oh, wait. Where is it? Oh, Alba. Yeah, Scotland. Just erase Alba from your mind. Like, these people, this new party. Sturgeon, I've got your back, babe. Yeah. So who've we got? We've got a sexual predator lead. Then we've got an anti-Semitic. And now they've recruited a wait. A far right Britain First Jada Franson. Where is it? Listen. You don't want those people in charge of your country, particularly not if you're going for freedom, which you absolutely should do. You don't want to have anything to do with our government, let me tell you. Oi. Who else we got? Who else can I name and shame today? So many. They're coming out the woodwork. Like, you know, if you put Vaseline over, when I lived in Africa, there was a thing where if you put your clothes outside, because I lived literally in a mud hut at one point, and one of the tips was if you were hanging you had to make sure your clothes were dry, because these little flies land and lay eggs on moist clothes. I can't remember. I want to say Tootsie Fly. It's probably not that. So maybe erase that. I'll find out what it is and put a link in. And they can lay eggs in, like, you know, like the elastic bands of things, so like around your waist and that. And what will happen is if you put the clothes on, they'll burrow into your skin. Yeah, they'll burrow into your skin, and then you can see like a little hole. And what you do, though, this is one of the hints and tips by one of the locals, you put Vaseline over it because it starves it of oxygen, and then it will crawl back out so you can pull it out. Ooh, those are good days. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that and why that came to my head, but it did. Obviously important. I've got some Listen, yeah. You know, Piers Morgan. This guy's ego is so big that he's on the front of the newspaper for tomorrow talking about how hot he is. I could list about 1,000 people off the top of my head that are hotter. Straight. And they're all like techies, innovators, philanthropists, theologians, historians, archaeologists, scientists, librarians, curators, the list goes on. Literally anyone is better looking or hotter than him. Like how he can eat. Do you know what I mean? He gives it out. Can he take it though? Can he take it? Because I looked him up as well. And the funniest thing is, he was a supporter. He was a patron. Even he was actually a patron. Check this because it's very relevant to what's going on at the moment. He was a patron for some mental health charity, and then listen to how he spoke about mental health to do with Meghan Markle. Like his personal opinions about Meghan Markle are like the antithesis of a mental health charity. So why would he be a patron of it? And then it goes just further to prove the fact that these fucking kinds of people hide behind philanthropy. Yeah, people with bad intentions, bad actions. Yeah, they're going to label themselves as a philanthropist because that's going to give them a nice guise to hide behind to do their fuckery, such as a paedophile tends to go and work in a church because they're going to get access to young boys. Proof in the pudding when you get to the amount of billions the Roman Catholic Church have had to pay out in settlements. Next one. They also like to go and hide behind children's charities where they get to travel around the world and work with children in other countries that are vulnerable, that they can abuse. Vast amounts of evidence for that as well. So philanthropy, I don't know why I'm doing the rabbit ears here, but philanthropy is used as a cover for these kind of fuckeries. And Piers Morgan being a patron of a mental health charity and then talking about mental health the way that he did is an absolute fucking insult. Because his opinions are directly in contradiction to anything, you know. Needless to say, he is not their patron anymore or ambassador or whatever. The only charity that is stayed by him is a cattery in Bristol, and he doesn't even own a cat. Please, seriously. So, what is he good for? What does he do? Please tell me. How does he think that he is that hot? How does he? I don't know anyone that thinks he's hot. And as I said, I could literally list 1,000 people. That's just off the top of my head. If I did research, I could come up with 7 billion probably. But you know what I mean? Please. Serious. Anyway. I'll tell you what I was going to say. And this is for the police in America. Now, you know that police brutality ship is going down. It's a sinking ship. And the best thing at this point would just be to acknowledge that and reflect and look into recent cases where similar incidents have happened, such as Breonna Taylor, and make that right. Yeah. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Because I think you can see by what's coming out with like I have to say, I think the entire world knew, but and it's an absolute atrocity that it had to happen. It happened that way, and having to relive it and go through this case shouldn't even happen in the first place. But watching all that evidence come out, you know that there is a problem there. You can't deny it anymore. You can't deny it. You can't hide behind badges and uniforms. Yeah, you can't. Because you got, and big up, I wrote his name down because I thought he's an absolute ledge. Where's his name? There's a lieutenant there. And he told the truth. And I just, you know what I mean, RBS PCT to him for doing that, and all the other policemen that said it's wrong. So, do you know what I mean? Just stand up and say it. Just acknowledge that mistakes, these things are wrong. People have made mistakes in terms of them not speaking out about it, but now's the time. You don't want people in your force that are this way. It's just not congruent to a good society. It's not going to do anything but reflect badly on all of the many police men and women that are great people that get care and that are doing good things. And these ones here, like that is it Derek Chauvin? Look, those ones that are like that, you've got to do something about them. You don't want them on the force. You don't. They're going to be nothing but bad news, bad trouble. Oh, thinking about Washington as well, because that guy, and I tell you, something came to me about that. So I think thoughts and prayers go out to the family and the police department. But I was thinking about that there. Someone, I said it before. We're in a precarious situation because someone is trying to start something. These people are trying to start something. Make no mistake about it. Yeah. Because people are at work and, struggling for whatever reason, in whatever scenario. There's lots of alcohol and, all of these addictions. And it makes you vulnerable and susceptible to being manipulated and used and abused. And, when you need money and you're in that situation, you're more likely to do something that you wouldn't necessarily do if you were not in that situation. A million times more likely. And that whole thing there, as soon as I watched it, I just thought something don't sit right. Something doesn't sit right that someone would do that and then be say that so freely about it. It's again, I think it's trying to start something, that it isn't, like how with all of the attacks on Asian Americans because of the whole thing about blaming China. And then now there's this as well, and it's supposed to be, he said about Islam. I just think that there's people are trying to start something. They're trying to be divisive, and we just need to be really conscious of that, because you can't trust these. You can't. You can't trust that. It just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know what it is. So why would you get out and shout that? People don't normally do that, do they? Not instantly like that. It feels like someone maybe been paid to do it, and to say it was Islam as a means to make people cause more fear and hate. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just alarm bells started ringing for me. But at the end of the day, it's still a life lost, and that's just not acceptable. So my thoughts go out to all of you guys. What was I going to say? I have got some innovation news. Where am I here? Why I wrote in fluorescent green pen, I can't even read that shit. You know what I mean? Losing it. Talk to me about this. Why have we not got? I did look it up, and why aren't we not using the natural geography in terms of solar, where the sun is, and having solar farms in all of those places? Because if you look at all the deserts, they don't all have solar farms in. Well, that would make the most sense because they get the most sun, wouldn't it? There's that. Also, did not know that there's an electrical cable from Morocco to Europe. So, if Africa, if the different countries in Africa that have deserts or really dry areas, and you turn those into solar farms, you'd be making an absolute mint. You'd be able to sell that electricity all over the place. Not only that, also, if you have Aqua, there's this thing. This guy is an absolute genius. Literally, he's a wizard. I swear. He's got a company called Algae Aqua, and he's created the. I'm not gonna say this right. I know I'm not already, so I'm not even gonna embarrass myself. I'm just gonna put the link in. But he's created this technology which goes into the soil, and it sort of regenerates the soil and brings back the microbes that are needed to enrich the soil. So for places that are arid, where things don't grow, it encourages the land to regenerate and to make it fertile, and so things can grow. It's called Algae Aqua. And not only that, he's also created a green powerhouse system. And again, I'm not going to try and explain the technology. I understand it in my head, but I'm definitely not going to be able to explain it properly, so it's no point. But I will put the link in. We should have those all over the place as well. because they're sort of completely natural. And also you can tell that he was onto a good thing, because it's someone, as they always do, if you're onto a good thing that goes against the grain or goes against the money makers, the whales, they want to destroy you. So someone set fire to his pride and joy, which is actually travesty. But I will send you a link to that, because he's a genius in no uncertain terms. So I'll put the links into that, because that is really good for the land, for farmers. Oh, I was watching no, I wasn't watching it. I just flicked over the channel and something stood out to me straight away. It was Poirot of some description. And it was, as I flicked over, it was the guy was talking about milk. And he was saying about how dairy farms use, hold on, it's called BS. BS. Jokes. It's called BST, which is a hormone. It's the bovine hormone. And milk farmers in certain countries give it to their cows to make them produce more, because obviously it's a hormone that is naturally in a cow. But they give it to their cows to make them make more milk, so they can just be milked all the time. So imagine like a battery farm for hens, but the same for cows in a milking station. I don't know if you've ever seen anything, but there's a pretty educating video on cows, the whole industry there. I mean, this is different for organic. It's different for organic, yeah, because you're not. So I looked this up for some reason. Again, it jumped out at me, and I thought I'm going to look that up. So if you have an organic farm, you're prohibited from using this. It's illegal to use this hormone. But every other place does or can. And so you're basically giving the cow more hormone than it should have, and that will then be present in the milk. And the hormone can cause cancer. For one example. Now, in addition to this, like it isn't bad enough subjecting cows to being milked like that and living in those conditions, but they also give them more hormone than they should have, which is unnatural. And then on top of that, companies, oh, you're going to love this, the same old. Guess who? Whatever his name is. Bill Gates. Bill Gates at it again. Yeah, there's four manufacturers. But what they've done now is that it's even worse. They make a synthetic version. So they make a synthetic version and then give that to cows, genetically modified again. And that is present in some milks and UHT milk. So then you're consuming this either this bovine hormone or a synthetic bovine hormone, which would be even worse. And the effects on your body, well, there's several. I'll put the links into that, because that's actually quite an interesting read. And also I highly suggest watching Cowspiracy if you haven't watched it on Netflix. Sorry, farmers, but you really shouldn't be using that. And I'll put the list, I'll name and shame those companies because I have no problem in doing that whatsoever. It gives me great joy. There's 4 primary ones and they're all in America. Right. Then what else was I going to say? Ooh. Tech. Beyond Innovation I was watching on Bloomberg. Love you guys. So there's a few things that are coming out. 2 of them are health ones, health tech. So you've got Caracare, which is basically a diet app. Because your gut is your second brain. You know, we're talking about inflammation and how that inflammation of your insides, which is where cancers can occur, and inflammation is caused by what we eat. So we're directly responsible for our health. And prevention is better than a cure. But obviously they just want to keep feeding us more chemicals, which actually makes us worse. So our gut is our second brain, and inside the whole lining of your gut is lined with like little sensors, and they actually are guides to our emotions as well. So not only have you got microbes in your stomach, which are needed for proper digestion, but you also have these little sensors, and they contribute to our emotional and mental health as well. So there is a direct connection between our brain and our guts. And if we don't look after either of these things properly, then we're all over the show. And this Caracare is basically an app that enables you. So if you've got any kind of digestive health problem, like IBS, for example, which I suffer from, but actually it, you know what, because I never used to have it when I was younger. It's because of my constant abuse of myself. That's what it was. 100%. Because it's not as bad now at all. So it is a direct, I didn't have it when I was born. I wasn't born with it. I just got it because I was eating like shit. I was drinking shit and just generally being shit. So that's what I then got. And I didn't need any I didn't need any medicine or, pharmaceutical intervention. I just, stopped abusing myself and being more conscious about what I'm putting in my body. And it's gone. But this app enables you, because some things are going to be allergy related and what have you, but this app enables you to track, what you're eating and things, and if you've got any triggers. So if it gives you, it enables you to track. So if you get because one thing you get like an inflamed, bulging belly is what I like to call the technical term that I like to use. Where you bloat. So every time, when you eat, if you get those kind of things or any sort of little side effects, it enables you to track it. So then over time you can see, oh, okay, I know then that if I eat those things, that happens. So it enables you to then either cut them out or make the appropriate adjustments or whatever, or take it to the doctor and you say, I've been tracking this for 3 months now. I know that, this is the data, because then it will help the doctors as well, give you a better diagnosis. Because remember, GPs are just GPs, they're general practitioners. So the more information you can go there with, that's going to help them ultimately. So big up Caracare, you know what I mean? And then the other one is Bays. Now Bays, they're all about nutrient deficiencies. So what they do is they send you out a finger prick test, and they'll test you, because I've obviously got into buying myself supplements. So I've just got a long list of tablets that I take in the morning now, just to make sure that I'm on at least trying to make myself better. So these guys, though, what they do is they can send out your little finger prick test, and then they'll test your blood, and then what they'll do is they'll assess your exact personalized to you, your specific nutrient requirements based on your actual blood, what's in your blood, and then they make it up for you, specific for you, including the very, down to the microgram of what you need for you to get you to your peak performance, to get to what the levels should be in your body for peak performance in every single thing. So it's completely personalized nutritional, and overall it's going to save you, rather than buying 100 different tablets from here, there, and everywhere. And you just buy one, and it will be yours for you, to make sure that it will get your body. And it takes about 3 months to get up to your body to get up to the right levels, but it'll be personalized for you. So I thought they're amazing. Then there's a cool new, it's called Speechly, cool new voice enabled search thing, but it's really specific, and it works better than the one, because it's got more. It works with colloquialisms and things like that, like general speech, and you can be really, really specific. So you can do one search, and then you can add a bit extra, and then a bit extra. So let's say if you're searching clothes, you'd be like, find me a dress in, and then and then you can go, okay, now in black, in this size, I want it highest to lowest, and it'll keep doing the extra searches. So that's quite cool. There's also, I'm gonna put all these links in as usual. Cyber ethical hackers unite. Do you know what I mean? So there's this woman, Kate. I'm going to say this name wrong. I'm so sorry. I don't even want to embarrass myself. Oh no, I can't even read my writing. It's like Masuris, something like that. I love you. I'm sorry. So she's doing a crowdfunding ethical hacker business, because cybersecurity is obviously a hot topic, and it needs improving across the board, because the hackers are just getting away with 6 trillion, I think, something like that across the globe. It's a crazy amount. So everyone needs to be aware of their security, cybersecurity, and whether they need to people need to do an assessment of their cybersecurity first and foremost. Then they need to look at where are the problems, and then make a roadmap, but make sure that these are her words. Make sure you do proper due diligence and investigate the issues properly, because then you can go to white hat hackers, and they'll come and save the day with their little capes. Love the techies. You know what I mean? To the rescue. Because ultimately, there is a solution to this. Just got to work together, haven't we? There's so many big brains. Come on. Then the last one was this company called Second Mind. This is artificial intelligence. And it's used for supply chains for black swan events. It helps predict black swan events. So, for example, if this, I suppose this would be a great use case like COVID. But it'll based on human experience of the past and their natural intuition and guidance of what happens in extreme circumstances or unpredictable circumstances. You input that knowledge into the AI, and then it will basically, you can give it an example, and it will work out the different solutions to that possible event and give you outcomes and plans and decisions, and it builds resiliency and redundancy within your business. So it means then that you're more prepared should other extreme events happen, because you've already worked it out, or at least to the as close as you can get it. Like if some force majeure occurs, then you've already run these possibilities. So you've got alternatives, you've got other plans in place already. It take a lot less time to get back on your feet, and people that have already got those things in place will do better than those that haven't. So it's a good technology to have. I've ranted on now for way too long. Way too long, people. So yeah, it's Sunday here, so happy Easter Sunday. I hope everyone has a glorious day. I'm going to what time is it? It's 10 to 2. I'm going to be spending the next 9 hours redoing my designs and getting that stuff on the go. So yeah, I've basically done a collection for each of the areas that I want to help, and then 100% of the profits will go to those areas. So yeah. And then who knows from there, might grow wings and fly. Anyway, so much love, good vibes. We've got this. Yeah, love you.